what it does is bring people into shock. And what I'm basically doing with my work is trying to unshock people. And every time you unshock someone, if you get them out of the trauma, it's kind of you're growing, and you're you're getting your power back.
Expanding your consciousness.
Expanding your consciousness, yes.
It's incredibly interesting, and I really do want to carry on this vein. In a way, they've actually deliberately suppressed us by giving us vaccinations. There's no proof of this, of course, but I mean, the logic says this, and many other people have said this, that they want us to believe that this life is all there is, and that's how they built that psychological fear of death into us. So it's all part of the conspiracy.
Yeah, well, it's... the word conspiracy, I often... I don't like it that much because it's be used to tag people, conspiracy nut and things like that. No. Yeah, if you have just one life and then an afterlife, if you are going to church enough and feel guilty enough and that you might end up in heaven, that has been used as a power tool. And churches have been doing enormous amount of suppression, actually. There was a lot of suppression. Actually, last week I had a wonderful example probably for this, how it worked. Actually, I might tell this because this was a woman who had this, she had a good job, and she has this this fear. If she goes to work, for example, she doesn't want to look anyone straight in the eyes. Because if she's in the bus, she thinks, if I'm seeing her tomorrow, she might start a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to contact her at all. I go to work early, because I don't want to say hi to everybody. I try to avoid them, actually. And tea is passing around. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. And in one way, she feels she doesn't like it to be confronted with other people. She does have a partner, but she's always, as much as she can, on her own. And she really wanted to go to a past life. And she also wanted to go to the moment before she was born, which we started with. And then, when she was in that state of mind, and she was kind of observing and feeling it, tapping into the feeling of getting born in that particular family where she was born, she was suddenly saying, well, yeah, that place is quite safe, but yeah, everybody gets burned. I said, everybody gets burned? Yeah, it's the most painful thing. And then I take a phrase like this, where does it come from? So then you regress back. And she goes to a life, Middle Ages, I suppose, where she is a girl, and she's with a boy in a shed. There's hay, and they're playing a role play, and she is playing. She's a witch, and she gets with the hands tied behind the pole, and she's practicing how proud she can die. And while she's doing it, at that point I think, this might be connected to burning at the stake, and maybe there's a trauma here, something is happening, maybe the guy is putting her on fire or anything like it. That's not the case. After she has done it, she's explaining like she cannot see this boy anymore, because now he knows her secret, that she actually feels good to be a witch. Just child thinking. And then she starts talking about everybody gets burnt at the stake. And then when I invited to talk about it, she said, yeah, even if you have a false accusation, you will end up at the stake. And she is describing this whole level of fear among the people, that if there's anything suspicious about you, you may be accused, work of the devil, and it's like people get completely paranoia. So if you don't go to church, you're a witch. If you do go to church, if you're too pious, yeah, it may be suspicious. If you do anything wrong, yeah, you will be betrayed. And like that, as a child, she constructs a way of living where she's meeting as few people as she can, spends most time in nature, builds up a complete fear paradigm for other people, just trying not to be raise suspicion in any way, so she gets completely caught up in a web of fear, completely. And she is, at some point, I'm asking her to move to the time of death, and she's describing herself with a pneumonia, and there are some people there to take care of her, and in a way she's very proud that she's not getting burned at the stake. But at the moment she dies, or before she dies, she panics because she's not sure that God won't send her to hell. And the whole story starts again, because hell and burning, it's the same thing. So this whole life is about fear. And to me, oh, actually, it ended up in another nice way, because at some point she began to realize in this afterlife where we moved to, that what she really wanted was to get some power to burn the perpetrators from the church, because she became aware of it. There was so much anger, and she wanted to have an iron rod and glowing, and so there was a lot of violent fantasies coming out that were buried inside, and in a way it was liberating for her. Of course, it's not a fantastic state of mind to end in, but it shows how much anger was repressed by the fear. And in one way it showed me very well that all the conspiracies what we're talking about now, it's not just now. It has been here for God knows how